across the globe, respecting the craft, we're in the know. No gimmicks or fakes, just pure passion and skill. The best talents from every wrestling hill. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respecting the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best.
And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 252, and I'm joined here by the Carolina Reaper himself, Jackson Drake. What's going on, brother?
Brother, who'd you have to blow to get shined down them goddamn cells to record that intro? That shit was sick. I'm just back here jamming. You feel me? I'm sorry. What was that first question again? Because I'm still stuck on that right now.
It's all good.
That
Shout
shit
out to
had me
Stefan.
geeking.
Shout out to Stefan Cricks, who actually does amazing custom music, who happens to
Big
also
shout
be
out.
Jessica Havoc's brother. Actually did that intro.
Small world, man.
Yeah, it's a small world,
Small
but
world.
definitely. But what's going on, man? How are you? How's everything?
Dude, everything's good, you know. I feel like I'm getting my foot in a bunch of different doors. I feel like I'm making moves and making money. So, you know, I'm on Respect the Craft, dude. You feel me?
There
So
we
yeah,
go.
not too shabby.
No, definitely not. And again, this has been an episode. It's no secret. I've said it. I've been wanting to make happen for a minute now, but you have been busy, and the schedule has just got even crazier. We're going to be talking about a lot of that in a little bit. But before I get to that, I have to ask you this question. I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the show. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
The craft just encapsulates whatever. I mean, I don't know. I guess wrestling is my craft. So to me, respecting the craft means simply respecting the entire entity that is pro wrestling. Speaking about it with respect, treating it with respect. Yeah, I think it's a very fitting name. I think it's a dope name for a wrestling podcast.
Thank you. Definitely. Again, we tried to make something again that it's something that I feel like needs to be done, especially for our craft here, to have that respect for and have that genuine love for the business here. But
oh yeah,
it's like
you're telling motherfuckers respect the craft. You know, you should add an exclamation after the C.
Wait, we probably should. We're gonna hit up the guy that did do this amazing artwork. Shout out to Isaac from VXS, who made all this amazing artwork for the podcast here. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. We got Alex Evans in the chat with look at that. Got the
Alex is in the chat.
Alex is in the chat.
Shit. What do you say? I'm not gonna mess with my phone because I'm gonna mess up the podcast.
It's all good. He just put a little emoji there. We're good. We're good so far. No shit talking has been. It is not. It is not.
Oh.
It's all good though. It's all good. But we do have some stuff we do want to start off with here. We're gonna talk about this one right here, because this weekend is a pretty busy one for you. You start off this Saturday, May the 4th be with you with Elevation Wrestling here. Talk to us about this, what you're going to be doing this Saturday coming up.
Well, I'm going to be partaking in a last man standing match with a gentleman named Yabba Dabba Daddy, a.k.a. Yabba Dabba Douchebag, Yabba Dabba Dickhead, Yabba Dabba Dumbass. Don't particularly care for him, but I'm a fighting champion, so I'm showing up and I'm getting the bag, getting the W. And then the day after that, the wonderful Cinco de Mayo, I'll be wrestling as well with Mr. Alex Evans, who's I don't
There
know if
you
he's
go.
still in the chat, but he just made a little cameo. We'll be taking on Robert Martyr, Mecha Wolf, and dude, I don't even know the other guy's name. I can't even.
It's going to be a 6-man tag trios warfare. I usually like to call it. It's the
Yep.
process going head to head with Robert Martyr, Mecha Wolf, and X Storm.
X
So,
Storm. He
yeah.
sounds like a Marvel superhero.
It does.
So
That's a cool name. You're gonna have to beat him up though,
yeah,
but it sounds like a
gonna
cool
have to
name.
turn into Venom and stomp his ass out. Like I be
There you
doing.
go. It's gonna be a
Oh
busy
yeah,
Cinco de Mayo. So there you go. There you go. You're gonna have some
busy
fun
weekend
on
like
Cinco de
every other
Mayo right there.
weekend, man.
But there you go. That's going to be that weekend there. But it continues the following weekend as well, as we're going to be going head to head with someone you know very well here, as you're going head to head at Fired Up with Marcus Cross. And
Grind continues. Yeah. Me and Marcus just had a little dance back
yep.
here at 420. Actually, as soon as we got done with the match, he went to the bar and I went to the circle. If you know what I'm saying.
There you go.
Um,
Gotta celebrate it nicely. That's all. Just gotta celebrate it
yeah,
nicely.
dude. But no, and any match with Marcus, to be honest with you, means the world to me because I started wrestling when I was 13 years old. Marcus was at Firestar. He was actually just kind of he was about a year in by the time I joined, so he was just kind of starting to come into his own. And he was my first practice match, like first match ever, my first little training fight. So
Gotcha.
was definitely nervous to wrestle him, and I'm nervous for my next match against him because
There
he's
you go.
he's that dude for real.
Got you. Which that is
Oh
perfect.
yeah.
Before we continue talking about matches you have coming up and all the great stuff you've been doing, I do want to ask about that because, like you said, you started at the insane young age of 13. So
It's not that insane anymore, dude.
no, that's the thing. At one point, it definitely was, but now it's like
Yeah.
it's almost a common thing. But to ask
All
you
these
at
little
that point,
rugrats.
to ask about that though, at that age, to think about, you know what? Because usually around that age, that's when you start to think, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do this one day. But to decide, no, at 13, I want to do it now. Like this isn't maybe one day. Like you're still watching, you're still getting that love for the craft and everything. Nope, I want to do this now. How do we get that at that young age to start thinking, I want to start taking bumps?
All right, dude. So when I was 13, I was let's see, I was a bitch. I was a little bitch. I was all talk and no walk. I would always say to my parents, "Oh, since I was 7, I was like, I want to be a wrestler. I want to be a wrestler." But it didn't go away as I got older. I still nothing ever changed. It was always, I want to be a wrestler. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and so on. Uh, but one day I Googled local wrestlers. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, so I looked up
Gotcha.
local wrestling schools, and Firestar Pro Wrestling was, of course, the first thing that popped up. And I went to my parents. I was like, "Mom, Dad, guess what? This is 2016. Yeah, this is late 2016." I go out yelling at my mom and dad. I'm like, "Guys, I found a wrestling school. You finna let me sign up? You gonna let me get a piece of that?" Anyways, that conversation happened, and it was, what month was it? I think it was in November, either October or November.
Gotcha.
My dad bought us tickets. He bought 2 tickets, one for me, one for him, to Monday Night Raw because they just so happened to be coming to Greensboro, and I
There
painted
you
my
go.
face. I painted my face like the Ultimate Warrior, like a little mark. And beforehand, we stopped at a Wendy's and we went in, and the not the waiter, but the cashier, the lady at the
Yeah.
register.
Yeah.
Lady at the register recognized my face paint and she was like, "Oh, you're going to see Raw, aren't you? You're the Ultimate Warrior." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And she's like, "Well, I actually go to church and I'm really good friends with independent pro wrestler. If you want me to call him to come to Wendy's after Monday Night Raw, y'all can come back here and meet him if you'd like." So of course we obliged. We went back to the Wendy's, and not long after we arrived, the Ring Warrior LeBron Cozone graced us with his presence. and he sat down with my dad and me for a little while, and he was like, yeah, he's 13 years old. He's a bit young to start training, but call me when he's 16. But my dad just so happens to be a carpenter, and a damn good one at that. So
Gotcha.
Cozone, he was running shows out of our little storage unit at the time. We trained out of and ran shows out of, and he needed like an entranceway built and like all this shit built. So we called my dad. He was like, "Hey man, listen, if you're willing to build some of this for me, I'll start training Jack early."
There
So
you go. And
and
that's
so
how
my dad
it's an
actually,
easy way in. That works.
yeah, but no, my dad actually came home after that conversation, and he was like, "Jack, guess what? Cozone's gonna let you train." And I fucking just started losing my shit, like just bitching out.
Yeah.
Like I ran my mouth about it. It was everything I'd ever wanted, but like I just, when it came time, I thought I wasn't ready, but I was luckily I was kind of forced to go. Luckily, like I said, because here we are.
No, yeah. Again, it shows how that hard work paid off, and again, to start that young, and to see everything you've done so far, which is still it's insane because you're still very young in your career too, and still
Thank you,
very
sir.
young too. That it's like, I wish I would have done that years ago because now I'm like, I'm at that point where I'm like, oh man, I used to be the young one in wrestling. Now I see you guys, and I'm like, yep, now I'm there.
It's starting to get, yeah, it's starting to, dude. I'm only 20 still, but I'm starting to feel like the old sack of
No,
shit.
it's gonna
Been a
happen
while.
eventually because I'm now 25, looking at you like, oh, now I feel old. Okay,
Oh, dude, it's a cycle. It's a circle.
it happens. It happens. It's all good. But here we go. We got some people in the chat. Shout out to Pete Rosato from We Are Rest. What? Come on, Pete. Just let it go. I did what I had to do. He's a little mad because I got out of a match I was supposed to have this weekend. I was supposed to wrestle
I'm not one
Dan
to talk,
Moff,
bro.
and I was
Hey,
like, hey, I had to do what I had to do.
you were supposed to wrestle Moth?
Yes, I
What
was.
the fuck happened?
I got my way out of it by
Preparing
getting
for this
Dan Moff.
interview with Jackson
Yeah,
Drake was
I
more
had to.
important
I
than
had
that
to.
shit?
I had to, man. I had to.
Man, shit,
It
man.
worked out though. It worked out. Dan Moff got a title match. He won his title match, and I was good. I got unscathed and I walked away. So I did
Yeah,
what I had to
yeah,
do. I did
yeah.
what I had to do.
Save your bump card, brother.
So you got to. But there you go. This one I agree with though. I would need Jackson Drake and We Are Wrestling ASAP. That one I agree with, Pete.
Would love
I
to.
agree
Would
with
love
that.
to.
We got
Throw
to
my
make
name in
that
the hat,
happen.
bro. Throw my
We got to
name in the
make that
hat.
happen. But from there, we want to keep going here with another match you're going to be having the following weekend, the 18th, as it's going to be standing on business and a little bit of a
Cut.
three-way dance.
Nope.
Oh,
That's not happening. That's
it's not
you're hearing
happening.
it. You're hearing it for the first time here, I guess. I will not be at that show.
Got
That's
you.
May 18th. I had to cancel that date actually
Ooh,
because
okay.
I will be in Texas for NWA's Crockett Cup
There
that
you
day.
go. So that is,
Yeah.
see, that is perfect because now we can segue into that. We'll segue
Oh
into the
yeah, let's go.
NWA. So let's
Yeah.
go into that. We're going to show this recent graphic from the matchup you had as part of the kids against a team that I know very well, the Slime Balls. So
Fun
first,
times.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that opportunity and now how does it feel being a part of again a company so prestigious as the NWA?
Sometimes I don't even know like even how to even segue into shit like that because
Yeah,
shit just kind of happens. Like shit genuinely just kind of happens. You're thinking about stuff and then next thing you know you're living it, if that makes sense. I remember last year me and my boy Duke O'Connor, huge shout out. Um Me and my boy Duke O'Connor went to the Crockett Cup because the Crockett Cup came to Winston-Salem, which is right down the street from Greensboro. And, we showed up in our nice fancy suits, our faces were, we were all metroed up, we were
got
making
you.
connections. Yeah. Making connections, talking to people, I got to do a little dark match for the fan fest they had before the main show. Duke actually got to stand in his real nice suit and hold the Crockett Cup itself while
Oh,
it
okay.
was being presented. So we both felt like we got to do something. So that provided me the confidence to keep reaching out to agents like Bill Barron's, and Mr. Pat Kenny, and just keep messaging them, sending them content, sending them promo pictures and whatnot. And I saw that they were going to be in, where was it? Knoxville, Tennessee.
Gotcha.
November of last year, I saw a graphic on Instagram. They were going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee, doing some tapings. So I'm like, dude, studio tapings always could use all the help they could get.
Of course.
So why not see if I can see about getting on that? And long story short, I got on that. Me and my tag team partner, Lev, ended up getting thrown in a little dark match in front of the fans before the main show started again. And apparently WPC was impressed because we've been brought back to almost every single show since then.
Nice.
And once it, at first it was like, holy shit, like 13-year-old me would be losing his shit to do this,
Of course.
And I still am, as like
Yeah.
you said, one of the most prestigious companies ever, NWA, and I get to apply my craft on it. But now it's like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like going to work. Same as like doing extra work with WWE.
Of course.
It's like going to work, like all these people that you watched when you grew up and you wanted to be when you grow up, it starts to feel like your coworkers after a while. But that in itself is cool as shit too, because it's like, fuck, I used to want to be you, and now I'm working with you.
So. No, and that's the thing too. You know what it is? It's coming from that point of you've earned your way, you've worked that way. Again, starting at 13 to get here, that is a step. You've done the thing that you need to do, and now it's paid off. Having that respect for the craft, and look where you guys are now. And again, it still continues. But we continue. We continue here with. We got VXS in the chat. Appreciate you for believing and being part of this amazing strong style youth movement. We have Bill Jackson there watching. They see the vision. It's only a matter of time. Oh, look at that. That flag at the end, though. Japan, we are VXS. I can see that. I can definitely see Jackson Drake making his way over there and definitely continuing his time with VXS. But also, before I bring up VXS, I got to acknowledge a man that's in the chat right now, as he's calling you the GOAT with the fire, but we got Javon Evans in the chat right there. Shout out to
Young OG. Let's fucking
shout out
go.
to him. Happy belated birthday, brother. Happy belated birthday to him who just celebrated his birthday.
Now. He's an old fucking man now. Big 2-0.
Again, you guys are so young. Oh, but it's still that just shows it though how impressive it is. It's so young in your careers, and you guys are killing it. Again, much respect to both of you. And now again, talking about that VXS in the building, I want to talk about that again to see you recently at VXS going head to head with Teriyaki and winning in front of a packed, sold out crowd in Queens. Talk us through that, and now getting that win, and again now being on your own here. Now it's no longer the Prodigies in VXS. Now it's Jackson Drake doing his own thing in VXS at the Bando. I got it right this time, Isaac. The Bando. I did make a joke about the banjo once, but it's the Bando. So.
Respect the Bando, we say. Let me just say real quick how much New Jersey has grown on me. Because I used to hate that fucking stage. I used to hate the Northeast. When I first started going up there, I used to hate it so bad. I'm a Southern boy, dude. I like being outside in the warm weather. That bitch is cold as hell, I always resented the tolls and how I wasn't able to pump my own goddamn gas even.
Wait, you minded that part? That's the one thing, especially if you're from New York, you don't mind. That's like, okay, cool.
Listen. I don't like motherfuckers touching my shit. That's all.
Got you. All. It's understandable. Understandable.
Anyways, no, but I don't even know what it is. I guess it's because I took a hiatus from going to New Jersey. When I was 16 and 17, there was a chunk of time. Like there was a couple months where I was going up to New Jersey, New York, like every other week. So I guess distance makes the heart grow fonder. And when Isaac bought me up this one time, dude, it felt like I was back home. because I spent so much time there before, and just being back was absolutely amazing. Yeah, I wrestled one teriyaki who is always finding a new gear. He's always on his shit, so I knew that was going to be fire from the get go. The second I saw the graphic, I was probably the most hype out of everybody. Yeah, just something special about two young guns who want the same thing and who are both willing to put in the same amount of work.
No, definitely. Again, right. I spoke to Teriyaki that week, and he definitely was excited, and we called it that. It was truly getting to see two just young goats going at it. You guys going at it, making it just insane, and we got to see it. We got to see it happen in Queens, and
Couple
I
young
feel like
workhorses, man, trying to
yeah,
eat.
definitely. Definitely. Here we go. We got Alex Evans again back in the chat saying the mother effing Carolina Reaper. And I guess Pete agrees with you with the New Jersey thing. It's fucking annoying. Let me pump my damn gas.
Alex, go to sleep, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But it's all good. But again, we can't wait to see what happens next with VXS and yourself and see what can happen. Because I do know, again, picking up those wins, and it's the talk about VXS possibly getting some championship gold soon. Is that something that it's in your radar as we speak?
If VXS is getting some championship gold, Jackson Drake is getting some championship gold. All right. The sun's hot, water's wet. Jackson Drake will be VXS champion.
There you go. Because again, the
And that's
competition
what I got to say about that.
It is very stiff because the guys that have made their name that they want that is like Leo Rush, Myron Reed, who we had recently on the pod talking about he should be the rightful first VXS champion. So I guess we're throwing Jackson Drake's name in there.
The competition was stiff to get on NWA. Look where I'm at now. The competition is stiff to get to WWE. Look where Javon Evans is right now.
There you go. This is true. This is true. But speaking of some stiff competition, though, I have to bring up this next match that you had recently that the ending might have been a little controversial. So we're going to talk about that here because you got the opportunity to face. You now call yourself a king as well, but you got to face the king of bros. And I had to pick this still image because
why that one? Why that one? Just be the endorsement, you know?
Because the endorsement didn't last too long when then that like what you
brother.
Come on, brother.
Why? Name, dude.
I get it. Again, I had to do what I did last Friday. You had to do what you had to do there. You wanted to, like you said, you didn't need the win. You just needed to make the name there. And it made sense.
All I needed was the picture. That's all I needed was that fucking picture right there that you just pulled up.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. But talk us through that match though, going head to head with Matt Riddle, what that meant for you, and just how did it feel. Even if again the ending was a little controversial, if you will.
Yeah, no, that's what anything controversial is memorable. So, yeah, that was unbelievable. From start to finish, I was pissing my pants each leading month up to that match because that was my first time. That was my first time wrestling somebody like fresh off of TV. That was not long after he'd gotten let go from the E. And ever since I was 15, Matt Riddle's genuinely been one of my favorite wrestlers to watch, to study, to emulate, all that. You know, I tell people all the time, right? My goal as a performer in the wrestling aspect is to be kind of a hybrid, like a love child of Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, and Matt Riddle. My only regret about that match, my only regret about it is that I wish I would have done more because I didn't know he was going to be so generous. He was just an absolute pleasure to work with. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And again, that's one of those where, hey, who knows? Maybe now we need the rematch so we can get an actual winner here. So who knows? Next
good
time,
word.
What could happen there? What could happen again? I know someone watching is going to want to book that rematch, especially because he got the RKO with you at the end. So you need to get a little bit of comeuppance, if you will. Even though again, the net shot, it's like,
dude, he's a UFC fighter. He could kill me. What else do I have? I have to hit him in the dick, bro.
It makes sense. It makes sense. But another huge opportunity coming up, though. And hopefully we can get a definitive winner here because it's funny. A few months ago, you posted up a great picture with this guy, and it maybe foreshadowed what we would see coming up, and that is
Ooh.
this one right here for the FSPW Championship. And will be the Carolina Reaper himself, Jackson Drake, defending against Speedball Mike Bailey. Talk us through this one happening Friday, May 31st.
Brother, that's yeah, I don't know if you can get much higher than that on the list of dream matches. On the list of, possible dream matches that could
Yeah.
realistically happen. I don't know if it gets much higher than that. A few months ago I experimented with wrestling without shoes because of Mike Bailey. It looked real comfortable. It looked real fun, but I almost got a blood infection in my foot like twice. And after every match, something was open. Some part of my foot was open. So I think Mike Bailey's a horrible influence for children, that want to wrestle or do anything barefoot for that matter. And I'm going to do the rest of my talking in the ring on May 31st.
That now we know Mike Bailey, the horrible influence. There's your promo, everyone.
Repulsive.
That's why the match. That's why the match is happening.
Mean. I don't have shit that's mean to say about Mike Bailey. He's the man.
Yeah.
I'll think of something. Something
definitely,
mean to say
definitely
and cut
so.
a fire promo.
There you go. But no, again, can't wait to see this one. This is definitely going to be. This is one of those, like you said, it's a dream match to see. Then also being a championship match is going to be insane. It's going to be true insanity. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you get your tickets to see that one. But we continue there as coming up in July. This is going to be happening.
Real quick. I'm sorry. I just got to cut you off real quick to add this. Remember what I said earlier about how shit is just weird? Shit's just weird to think about. Because when I was 15, I was on I wasn't on High Spots, but I used to buy all those PWG videos off High Spots.
Yeah.
Right? And I watched which pay-per-view was it? It was PWG, it was Don't Sweat the Technique. Trevor Lee versus Mike Bailey.
Okay.
I was 15 years old watching that match, and I became the biggest Mike Bailey mark. And now I'm 20, and I'm defending my championship against Mike Bailey. It's just so weird, man. It's just fucking crazy.
That adds a whole nother element to it, though. That's something where, again, it all connects. It all starts to make sense, and it happens. It all happens for a reason. So, again, it goes down May 31st. Can't wait to see that. And, again, that's going to be another one to tear. Maybe for that night only. Maybe you should. Maybe you do wear no shoes of that one just to see what happens.
Not for free, dude. Not for free, dude.
We're going to move on here. We're going to move on here. As we're going to talk about this one as coming up later in July. Funny enough, the day before my birthday. There you go. You're going to be here at
when's your birthday? July 21st?
21st. Yeah, it's the 21st. So there you go.
Yes, sir.
The day before my birthday, you're going to be here at Jamie Lynn Senegal's own sick bubblegum there, making your way down
for you in Arizona, brother.
There you go. Going all the way down to Arizona. Enjoy that heat. Because
I fucking will. I love that shit, dude. I'm gonna pop the top off. I'm gonna get orange, bro.
There you go. He's gonna get a nice tan, which is it works out because you'll be all tanned up, ready to go for a week after. Because we just talked about one dream match. The week after in July, you'll be going at it in another one, as we got to talk about this right here, which is insane because it's another one of those. It's another one of those. It's at the 1 year anniversary there. Betrayal, Saturday, July 27th. It will be the Carolina Reaper himself, Jackson Drake, as Mustafa Ali makes another stop in his election tour here. He's making those waves. It's Ali versus Drake here. Your thoughts going head to head with the current reigning TNA X Division champion?
I'm gonna put an end to that whole goddamn campaign. What can I say? No, but it's kind of like the Mike Bailey situation. I remember being 12 years old watching the Cruiserweight Classic and watching Mustafa Ali on that little tournament gimmick. Yeah, I mean, that match, funny enough, got like announced around the same time as the Matt Riddle match. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy, dude. Like I can't talk about stuff like that because I'm gonna get stuck. Like it's too much to unpack. You feel
Gotcha.
me? There's too much like there's too much history with shit like that. Like I could talk
Gotcha.
about how I literally watched him growing up, and I'll just be sitting here for 45 minutes. Yeah,
No,
stoked.
it's all good. And
Absolutely
again,
stoked.
it shows though how much again these matches not only are they on paper written as dream matches, but it truly is a dream match for you getting to wrestle someone like Ali, who I can imagine, like you said, since the age of 12, getting to watch,
That's
getting to see perform, and
that's
now
the thing.
facing off against them.
I'm so nervous like for matches like that because it's a matter of for me it's like it's really important to me that I
Of
do
course.
good by those but that I do good by those guys. Like
Yeah.
of course Jackson Drake needs to have an amazing body of work. Jackson Drake needs to have a stellar, collection of matches. But like all you like Matt Riddle for example, the pressure's on going into that, not only for me, but like I also idolize this guy. So I
Yeah.
don't want a black mark on his record to be a match against me,
Of course.
if that makes sense.
No,
So go,
it definitely does. It's one of those where you're adding that pressure because at that point, especially if you're put in these situations, it's because to pull back a little bit of the curtain, the promoters know. They know what you can do, they know what you can perform, they know the level you're at, the reason why you're part of the NWA now. You're getting those opportunities, you're doing the things that you're doing. They know you can handle that pressure that comes with these huge opportunities. Like, I've
yeah,
seen you do
I
it, and
like
I
to
give you
hope.
that as well. Like, you definitely have earned these, and there's a reason why you're getting these opportunities more and more now, man. Like, you're
You're the
killing it.
fucking man, dude. I
You're definitely
appreciate it.
killing it.
Genuinely.
Yeah. So, and here we go. We got
Chat,
Dante
tell me how
saying that.
wonderful I am.
No, Dante
Dante's
just
in
said it
here?
there. He's got
What
that's a hell
Dante
of a
got to say?
lineup. That's a hell of a lineup over the next few months. JD deserves it. He definitely does. He definitely does. Like, that is a
Throw Dante
huge
Khalifa in
lineup.
that bitch.
There you go. Ooh, there you go. I was about see that was about to be my next segment I want to talk about here, which was we talked about confirmed matches you've already had, matches you're gonna be having coming up. Who are some people that maybe again haven't been announced, haven't been talked about wrestling yet? Who are some people that you want to go in there with, Jackson Drake?
You're asking me
Yep.
my active
Who's
dream
on like
opponents?
if you have a list, it could be dream opponents, people you've been watching that you want to get in there with, a little bit of a mix, if you will.
Okay, first and foremost, Ray Sanchez.
I'm a broadcaster, man. Like I do this, I do commentary. You can get someone to book me to call one of your matches. That works. But I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to
Let's
wrestle you,
let's
man.
take
We're
over.
cool.
You'll be Jackson Drake for a day. I'll be Ray Sanchez for a day. I'll interview famous people for a day. I'll ask
Uh,
them questions. You get in the ring and
I
mix it
gotta
up,
take. I
dude.
gotta take the.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off the air. We'll do something. But
All right,
okay,
that's cool.
outside of me,
Outside of
because
you,
the problem is VXS is gonna be like, that's probably a good idea. Now they're gonna want to book that. That's an issue. But outside of
dude.
me,
Marketing
outside of
genius,
me,
bro.
outside of me, who would you want to face?
Okay. Shot in the dark. Brian Danielson. Brian
Okay,
Danielson. Let's see. As for active guys on my level, that could happen next weekend. Genuine possibility. I know the answer until somebody asks me. That's how it always is. I always know exactly what I want to do in my matches until it's time to discuss the match.
of course.
Speedball Mike Bailey obviously would have been the
Yep.
first answer, but since that's out of the way, Colby
That's
Carino.
confirmed now.
I didn't want to say his name because we wrestled before. It's not like we've never wrestled, but last time we wrestled, I was what 16. Now I'm 20, and we're both way better than we were 4 years ago. So Colby's number one as we speak. Brad Attitude,
Gotcha.
a gem, absolute gem from the Southern Territory down here. Let's see. Everybody, dude. Everybody.
There you go.
Everybody. I want to challenge everybody, and I want to challenge myself. Like let's
Gotcha.
see who I can have a banger with. You know, let's see
Gotcha.
who I can have a classic with.
That could
Anybody and
work.
everybody.
But I like these though. I like the comments here because Malachi's saying sounds like we're about to get Javon Evans versus Drake Thompson soon. With the eyes,
Yeah,
there you
sorry.
go.
This interview with me went to shit as soon as Javon got in the chat because now I'm all nervous. Now
It's
that
all
he's here,
good, man. It's
blushing and shit,
all
dog.
good. It's all good. He
Oh,
came
yeah.
to watch you, man.
Yes,
But there we go.
Malachi.
Chris,
Hey,
this
bro.
will be
If Javon Evans gets released, Jackson Drake versus Jay Malachi.
nah, man. Now you just got to go up there. That's it. You got to go down to
Oh
Florida.
yeah.
That's all that happens.
Oh yeah.
But here we go.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got Chris saying, "Give this man Nick Wayne, Prodigy versus Prodigy." That would be good.
That's a good one. Okay,
That would be
Nick's
good.
on the list. Nick's on
And
the
there
list for
we
sure.
got
Oh,
JD versus Kyle Fletcher as well. That would be good as well.
I just wrestled Hunter Drake this past Friday. I want the smoke with Kenzie Page. She's a goddamn beast.
Got you.
You know who I'm talking about? Kenzie Page?
I do. That could work as well.
Yeah.
That could work.
Absolute beast.
But I like this one too. I like this one. Malachi saying JD versus Will Ospreay. Huh.
I thought we were talking about more obscure matches. Everybody wants to wrestle Will Ospreay. What the fuck?
Hey, but that could work too. That's all. That could be on the list again with the insane matches you have coming up. An Ospreay match doesn't seem too out of reach at this point, man.
Hey, dude, Lord knows I've got hella experience countering that finisher, countering that Oz cutter, countering that Malacutter. So
there we go. So again, someone book it. We're gonna put it out because now we're clipping all of this. We're clipping all of this right here. So we're gonna put this out in the universe. We'll see what happens, and who knows? By the time we do part 2, maybe most of these matches have happened. We'll see. We shall see. But now,
time will tell.
I gave you a little bit of a warning earlier. I gave you a little bit of a thing that I was going to show you a picture, and I wanted to get your thoughts in it. And it's a little too perfect that someone's in the chat. So we're going to talk about this picture.
Wait. But before you show the picture, who's in the chat?
He's commented a few times. I'm not going to say who else is in the chat. We're just going to say he's commented. So we're going to show this picture right here, holding your.
Where the fuck did you even find this shit? This is like from Facebook 10 years ago at this point.
So look at the young whippersnappers there. Just look at how young in their careers, how young they are there, and to see where they are now.
Those fucking Elucha fucking tights, dude. Good lord.
Hey, it's the humble beginnings, man.
You start somewhere. Listen, for any and all up and coming trainees / pro wrestlers, don't stress too much about what you're gonna wear your first match because you're not gonna be wearing it 5 years, a year. You're not gonna be wearing it 6 months in.
Yeah.
So don't trip about it.
There we go. Malachi popped for it too. Oh no. It worked out too well because I did not think he would be in the chat watching. So hey, 2 for the price of 1 with the reaction for the pictures.
All right, so what do you want to know?
No, I just your thoughts when you see that again. The humble beginnings. You just
wanted to grace my eyes with that blast from the past.
Hey, because it shows
the humble beginning. Trauma.
Hey, it's humble beginnings, man. Getting to hold gold at that point, but now look at you holding multiple world titles.
Javon Evans can attest there were some serious fucking teeth that were cut during those days, some serious dues that were paid, some serious miles traveled, even at the ripe ages of 13 and 14.
That is still, again, I know now it's not as insane, but still to me, I'll give you guys the most respect of just at that young age, paying those dues, doing it the right way, learning the right way, coming up the right way to now see what you guys are doing. It's much deserved, man. So again, I give you guys all the credit there.
Wouldn't have gotten where I am without that gentleman right there. So
much love and respect to both of y'all. That is insane to see. There we go. See, Mark James saying it, and I agree. Anyone versus Jackson is a must see. There you go. There you go. That's great, Malachi. Oh, most definitely.
That's the man right there. Y'all don't know nothing about the brute, Mark James.
There you go. So now I do have to ask you, Jackson, before we start wrapping this up. Again, it's insane, like I said, because only at the young age of 20. So you still have so much more to go, so many things to learn, so many things to go through. But from that age of 13 and now, what has been for you the biggest thing you've learned so far?
Um, let's see. The biggest lesson I've learned, there's been a couple. Well, one of them is that you're never going to please everybody. You're never going to please everybody, so don't try. Uh, life is like, oh, here's a good one. Life is like a wrestling match. It's not good to plan the whole thing out. If you plan
Ooh,
everything out, if you plan out A to Z, what are you going to do when shit goes wrong? You're not going to have an idea what to do. Life's like a wrestling match. Just go with the flow. Let it happen.
I like that. I like. See, now that needs to be a shirt. You might have to make that into a shirt, Jackson Dre. You
Hell
might have
yeah,
to make that
dude.
into a shirt. There you go. We're
I've
gonna we're
also
gonna we're gonna clip that once he makes the shirt, and there you go.
oh yeah. Another thing I've learned, uh anger is a tool. It's a superpower that can be used to catapult yourself. Depression is like a natural TRT if you use it correctly.
That works. That works. Again, using that to use that momentum, push yourself, keep going, keep it strong. And again,
Mhm.
I can imagine that's been something that has
Use the
continued to
pain to
push you
get
as well.
stronger.
There you go. That works for anyone watching. Take these gems, man, because again, you see from 13 to 20 now having insane matches and insane moments and earning them all. Listen to this guy right here, man. Listen to this guy right here, who
You're
again,
gonna
not
get
just
hit in
because he's on here,
the
you
You're gonna
you
get hit
definitely
in the
are.
head a lot. You're gonna forget what you're gonna say during interviews, but it's worth it. The
Hey, I
juice is
always
worth
say
the
when I have
squeeze.
those moments that it's like, yeah, I just been dropped on my head a few times. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
It's all
Oh yeah.
good. But before we start wrapping this up as well, I don't want to bring up this that was announced a little earlier today. I get your thoughts on this right here and what is newborn wrestling. You can give us a little take on this.
Brother, dude, I know as much about that as you and everybody in this chat. Yeah,
Well
so
then,
that was announced today.
okay,
One of my good pals, I don't know how much he wants the world to know about him, so we'll call him X.
okay,
X is separating himself from a particular company,
gotcha,
and he absolutely, and he's making his own company. He's making his own baby. It's going to be called Newborn Wrestling. And I guess
gotcha.
sorry, can you throw that picture up on the screen for
Yeah,
me one
one
more
more time.
time?
Here we go.
So I can
Look
yeah,
at
so
that.
that's me, obviously the handsome gentleman to the right.
This is why I brought it
Uh
up because I was like, I saw in one of the original graphics right there. It was you and also Robert Martyr. So we see
oh
who's a
yeah.
part of it
Oh
here. We
yeah.
see who's a part of
Me
it.
and me and my shitty tattoo embrace the struggle. So what this looks like to me is a sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah,
If you want to pay 67,000 fucking dollars for the Carolina Reaper, to have a banger in your name, this is your opportunity. So get on it.
there you go. So there you go, everyone. If you guys are
It's not
interested, go check
sixty-seven
them out.
thousand dollars.
I would assume not because that is a lot for one
Yeah,
match. But again, if you guys want to know the actual information, head up Newborn Wrestling, new company starting up there. Always support some great independent wrestling. But Jackson, before I let you go, one final question to ask you here, and that is
sir.
for the Carolina Reaper himself. What is the end goal, brother?
Well, the end goal right now, I don't have an end goal. I want to do this forever. I want to do it until I shit the bed, straight up. Um, but if I could have if I could have something to where like if I had to retire the next day, I'd be like, okay, I'm not fucking happy about it, but I can live with it. Uh, I have to have a one-on-one match with Javon Evans at WrestleMania. Have to, have to. I'm not
There you
going.
go.
I'm not going anywhere until that's checked off the list.
Got you. Again, that is a perfect moment right there, which I can imagine he'll agree with as well. I can
Yep. Other than
imagine.
that, win matches, make money, fuck bitches.
There you go. That's that's
There we go.
that's all it's about. But before we let you go as well, let's make sure we put this up. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow Jackson Drake on all of his social media right there. O3 Jackson Drake on Instagram. Follow him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Jackson Drake O3 right there. Links to both of those will also be in the description down below. And Malachi
Got
saying it right there. It's gonna happen, my boy. Look at that. Look at the nice design there. Shout out to Mrs. Karina over there for making that awesome little logo right there. That looks fire. There you go. Malachi said it's gonna happen, my boy. And there we go. Mark James saying that's a money match all day. It definitely is. It definitely is, and we definitely will see it happen one day. And we'll remember, we talked about it right here on Respect the Craft. So to everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us here. Jackson, thank you so much for being here, brother. I'm glad we could finally make this happen, and it worked out so well. Thank you again for joining us, bro. This was great. And again, like I said, not just because you're on the show, but much success to you, man. You definitely have earned every opportunity you're getting, and the sky is truly the limit, man. Sky is truly the limit.
You're the man, dude. Everybody's been so nice to me today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
I can't wait to do this again, man. As for now, the Carolina Reaper has left the chat.
There you go. And everyone watching, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. Respect the craft. And we'll see you guys